brings us to the reason for this meeting, and this is a lead meeting, and I have not had the opportunity to hear this man's lead, but he's always a pleasure to see when I walk into the rooms. He's always got a smiling face and very welcoming, and so it will be my pleasure to hear his lead for the first time tonight, and with that, I will give you Al.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Al. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Al.
Start off with my story here. When Tony asked me to speak, I got kind of nervous. I've never done any public speaking, but being I'm an alcoholic, he's an alcoholic, a lot of alcoholics in this room, you don't say no to another alcoholic if you can help them at all. If you can hold them up in any way, you hold them up. So I got a hold of J.D. Vance and says, hey, J.D., I've never done any public speaking. Hey, we'll take care of you. He got in touch with a professor there from the Ohio State University, and professor got some freshmen learning the project, so they took me on. They found out after 5 minutes of hearing me speak, people did start to doze off. After 15 minutes of hearing me speak, they go into a fairly deep sleep. After a half hour, they start dreaming about their wildest sexual fantasies. For the night, folks, I don't think you'll get the full effect of my speech. But I was raised St. Henry, Ohio, the youngest of four. Had a very good childhood. My mother hardly ever drank. She would drink at a wedding. She had maybe 1 or 2 mixed drinks, and maybe Christmas or whatever. Did very little drinking. My dad, he liked to drink a beer here and there. Was not an everyday drinker. If it was hot out in the summertime or whatever, he'd have a cold beer after work. And let me and my brother have a sip of it, that's about it. And then my dad at nighttime made me have a little nip of whiskey just to get a good night's sleep. But growing up, as I said, life was good. My dad took us fishing a lot and a lot of different things. And we'd go on a vacation every year, just a one-day vacation to Cedar Point, Kings Island, wherever. A very good childhood. When I don't remember my first drunk really. I don't know which time it would have been, but anyhow, I do remember my last drunk, and I will be getting to that later. But when I was 16, me and my buddies, we'd be riding around in a car. We could always get beer. This was back in the 70s. And if this carryout didn't send you beer, you just went to the next carryout. Finally, you'd find one or a bar that'd sell you some beer to go, and we'd drive around and drink and have fun, do stupid stuff, and never got in any trouble in the law. After graduating high school there in St. Henry, I started working at Merceman's, second shift. Met up with a couple of guys, and we'd work till 2 o'clock in the morning, and after work we'd run up to the Club Cafe and have 2 beers because they are very strict on closing at 2:30. And so wasn't drinking a whole lot. On the weekends we hit her a little bit harder and do stupid stuff, but I still never got in any trouble with the law. After 3 years of working Merceman's, I decided this factory work just isn't the life. I started driving truck over the road. And there again, I had a job. Can't hardly drink. Unless you get laid over somewhere, then I'd find a watering hole and have something to drink. But drinking wasn't real heavy, wasn't a problem for me. But after 5 years of driving truck, back then we didn't have the electronic logs and the laws like they do now. I had 5 log books and then I quit. I just got fed up with it. I did an El Paso turn. I left Monday morning, went to El Paso, Texas, had a return trip, came back, and I wanted that weekend off because the MD tournament was going on in Coldwater. And I got back Thursday night to Portland, they unloaded my truck, and then they started putting stuff on my truck, and I'm like, well, what the heck's going on? Says, oh yeah, you need to call your boss. Need you in Clarksville, Tennessee in the morning. And I never done any drugs. I maybe smoked a little bit of weed in my teenage years. Never much of a drug user. I just preferred beer. So I drove down to Clarksville, Tennessee, and drove back, got back Friday night, Friday afternoon, what have you. Brought in, turned my keys in, and says, that's it, I'm not doing this anymore. So, started working various construction jobs. And in 1988, I got married. My ex-wife now, she's my ex-wife now, had 2 sons, they were 10 and 4. And then we had a son of our own the very next year. I mean, life was pretty good. She worked at Huffy. She had a good job. I started working for Wellman Brothers. They do the church maintenance. I actually put the cross on this. Took it off and put the cross on this church. And so we had good income. The kids were always fed. It was never a problem with money. Like they say, alcoholics are in debt. Well, I never was in debt. Was never late on payments with anything. But go fast forward to 2019, or no, well, okay, yeah, 2019, I got my first OVI, and it was kind of a bogus charge. They seen me pouring out of the nightclub in St. Henry, and I only lived a block away, and I didn't use my turn signal. So, and I mean, I was barely over the limit, but it was a brand new state trooper, and he had to make his name, so I was his first OVI ever, and he was feeling higher than a kite. So kudos to him, I guess. But I thought, man, there's so many times you came home, you don't know how your car got home. And you'd walk around and see if there's any dents in it. You never had new dents and stuff. I don't know how in the heck I did it. Went that long without getting an OVI, but that kind of slowed down my drinking and driving. In 2010, now the rabbit has to run back in the hole. Rabbit's going to be running in and out of the hole on me. So excuse that. In 2010, I was turning 50 years old, and as anybody who's ever done a lot of construction, your body begins to wear down. And I just couldn't take the climbing on the roofs and all that anymore, and the heavy lifting was taking a toll on me. So I got a job here in a factory right down the road here, Fort Recovery Industries. And I work second shift dye maintenance there, and I'm still working there. But, and I always have a water jug with me, and I put 2 cans of beer in there and some ice. And then as soon as I got off work, I could open a beer, and I could stop at a bar and have a couple more beers, and I'd go home and continue my beer. So I never really had a problem. In 2019, I got that OVI. And then in 2020, the bars closed down. And well, I quit putting beer in my truck too, because I didn't want to get another OVI. So I really behaved on the driving part of it. In 2024, in 2023, I got a bad cold in May. So I started drinking blackberry brandy to go along with my beer. My drinking was accelerating some. I'd have come home from work, I'd grab my beer, my blackberry brandy, and I'd sit there and nip on that. My wife, at one time, was working second shift too. She had made me a wine. We were all getting off at 11 o'clock, and my son that we have, who's single, living there with my ex-wife now, and he'd have, some beers. We'd all just sit there and talk and BS and have some drinks. No big deal, but she retired, and we were spending way too much time together. Ended up that we decided to split up. She kept saying she's moving out, she's moving out, she's moving out. I'm like, go, get out. She wasn't getting out, so I went and I found my own, I call it my penthouse in Salina. It's less than 500 square foot apartment. And it's on the second floor, so I get good exercise. But I really like it up there, and nice quiet neighborhood on the south side of Salina. But after work, you know, I was drinking my beers, and I'd come get off work, and I wouldn't be drinking on the way home because the bars was all closed and everything. So I'd sit there, first thing I'd do is set my bucket down, and then I'd pop a beer, and then I'd pop another beer, and then maybe I'd clean out my bucket, and I'd grab the blackberry brandy, and had the old smoky moonshine that's all flavored up, and had my Dr. McGillicuddy's flavored root beer whiskey, and I ended up getting pretty gosh dang drunk. And this was going on every night. I was getting out of control. Last year I even ended up bruising some ribs, and I don't know if it was falling into the sink, falling into the bathtub. I don't know what I did. I had bruised ribs. So when I went to the doctor for the bruised ribs, I told him, well, I was playing football with my grandkids. I wasn't going to say, heck, I got drunk and I don't know how. I just woke up, my ribs are sore as hell. I had a two week bout with that, and I was going to be going back on work on a Monday. This would have been Friday, October 11th, my last drunk. I fell down the gravel, and from being a teenager, learned how to drink. I knew that when I fell on that gravel, if I hold on to it, I won't fall down any further. Because when I'd fall in the grass, I say, yeah, just hold on to that grass. You won't fall down any further because you feel like you're still falling when you're laying there. So, I mean, I was a pretty darn good drinker. I was a professional. I was a, what do you call it? I could keep the cleaning done and everything else. I was, I can't even think of the dang word I wanted to use. But I was a working alcoholic. Everything was functioning good for me. And
Functioning alcoholic.
Yeah, a functioning alcoholic. Thank you, Tom. I knew that word was out there
You said
somewhere.
it, and then I had to repeat it.
Yeah, I was a functioning alcoholic for years and years and years, and just denying that I really had a problem. Well, my problem got worse and worse with getting all the blackout drunks. That on the 11th, when I fell in the gravel and skinned my arm and got back up and got into a penthouse there and cleaned myself up there, I ended up going to bed, passing out, waking up on Saturday morning. I was going to go get some groceries, maybe some cleaning, hygiene supplies, something like that, just do some general shopping, whatever I needed. And so I'm getting in my truck going to do the only thing I could think of. You're out of beer, you got to get beer. I was a block from the carryout, and I'm like, ow, you're out of control. I finally admitted to myself. So I called a person I know who's in AA and told him, I need help. And he's like, well, what is it? I said, my drinking, it's out of control. I can't control myself. So we talked a good little while there. He talked me into going to a New Bremen meeting at noon because I work second shift. So went to New Bremen, met the guys there, a good group of people. And I'm just so thankful for the group of AA he told me about. He says, this here's a good meeting. And we're meeting COAR 9 o'clock, which is on Tuesdays, which is a little early for me. And then at that time, Wake and Recovery was just starting. So I go to that meeting quite a bit. And then there was a meeting Saturday night. Heck, I ain't drinking Saturday night. I might as well go to Jabez's house. Go to a meeting there. The meetings are important. Within 70 days, May 1st will be my last day that I work full time. I'm going to be retired.
All right.
Which I'm really going to have the toolbox out. And I know I got to be going through the steps. Keep going through the steps. Keep the reading. Just like today, this afternoon, nothing going on. Just sitting there alone in the apartment. Kind of bored. I mean, have a TV on, but nothing great on. Just, I know I have to have my tools out, have my books, have my, just the importance of going to these meetings and doing the steps. Without that, there's no way I'd be standing here today. Because like right before Thanksgiving, I was going to sit there and thought I wasn't going to get to see my grandkids, and I'm like really bummed out, and I was just going to say, screw it, I'm just going to become a goddamn drunken. I was in my shoes, putting them on, and I seen my books sitting right beside me at my table. And if I wouldn't have seen them books and thinking, well, call a friend. I didn't need to call a friend. I know what friends would have said. Because I've known these guys for only a month, but I mean, I know they would have definitely helped me out and what have you. And half hour later, the phone rang, and it's my grandson who says, yeah, hey, we're going to get together. I had the best Thanksgiving I've had in years. I had a great Christmas. I had a great holidays. Great things are coming to me and great things are going. All I have to do is stay sober. And I see some of you people are getting into about a snore, so I don't want to have my full effect on you, so I'm going to stop at that. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks, Al. What I got out of your lead was the it's a progressive disease, and until we can take that first step in admitting that we have that problem and be willing to surrender and do something about it, that's when the change comes. And you're absolutely right. When you get in them moments where we just want to say F it or whatever, that's what I have to remember too, is what I fought this long for worth giving up just because of a situation that didn't go my way. And what these people in these rooms did was, if I just brought that to the table and explained to them the things that I was going through, it taught me how to do it without having to pick up a drink or a drug. And in my time of recovery this time, I've been through some things, that back in the day would have been justification to just say F it, what's it worth fighting for? And today I'm grateful that I have these people, these rooms, and them books, and them readings, and all the tools that this program has given me to pick up and apply to my life, because there's nothing today that I can go through that a drink or a drug's going to make better. So I'm grateful for that clarity, and I got that clarity from this program, and to keep coming back and to keep sharing my struggles around these tables, and to get that experience, strength, and hope. And by you getting up here and sharing your story, that's service work, and that's one of the best ways that we can stay sober today, is by giving away what we've been freely given, and I'm grateful for that. So with that, I will go ahead and open up the floor for anyone who wants to share.
Thanks, Chrissy. My name's Jason. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Jason.
Yeah, Al, thanks for sharing the story tonight. I was kind of like relating with some of your story, and it's neat to me. The more leads I hear, the more I keep coming back. I was falling down like that when I was 16, and continued to do it for 30 years, and but I made it. And you, seemed like you were functioning. Like, you didn't have major problems, you didn't have major issues. I couldn't drink like that. I'd have been mad at you if I'd known you a while back when we worked together or something. I'd been like, man, how's this guy, how's he able to do that? I'd have been trying to learn the secrets. But it all brings us to the same place. And yeah, I've known you for a few months now. I see you at town meetings. I see you saying yes and helping people and doing all the things you're taught to do in AA. And it seemed like you got the idea pretty quick. And I think it's just really neat. You said, I admitted I had a problem. Man, that's amazing. I don't know how to do that. Somebody else had to tell me, for a long time that I had a problem. And I still had a hard time admitting that I had a problem. I just held on so tight. So I think it's really cool how your story went and how you did that. I'm looking forward to hearing your lead a year from now, because now I know about your past, and I know a little bit about your future, but like after sober will keep getting longer and longer, and yeah, I think there'll be some pretty amazing things happening in your life. So thanks for helping me stay sober tonight, and thanks for sharing your lead.
Thanks, Jason.
I'm Kevin, I'm not
Kevin.
Paul.
Kevin.
And, thanks, Al. Yeah, that's a good lead, and, you know, first time you get up there, sometimes you don't know exactly, what all, to go and what to say and things, but, no, you've done a fine job. And, I'm also, I don't know, I've known you, well, since you've been in here, a few months or whatever. And, the thing is that, you're at meetings, you participate, you help out, if somebody asks you to do something, you're more willing to do it. And, that's a big part of recovery right there, is getting involved. You know, I was in Outer Rooms for 20 years before I got sober, and I never wanted to get involved. I wanted to sit in the part of the seat in the back, nobody talk to me, nobody look at me, and as soon as that prayer was done, I was out the door, and I never could stay sober. And, when I did get sober and come in, I got involved with people that were involved. And, and that made it a lot easier. And, I see you at a lot of meetings, you work second shifts, there's some evening meetings that you're not able to make, but on the weekends, you're a meeting warrior. You're right there. And, and that's what it's all about, because what we do, we have to learn a different way to live than what we used to. And, and you gotta be around, you gotta be involved, and you're doing a great job. So just keep doing what you're doing, and it'll continue to get better. It'll get better all the time. And, just like them promises say, we'll be amazed before we're halfway through. And, and I can only agree with that completely. I completely agree with that. So, thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing your experience, strength, and hope. And thanks for being my friend. And one of the other things we do is, when alcoholics get stuck, we pull them out too.
Yeah.
We, Al kind of got stuck one night, and
And alcohol wasn't
I
involved.
had to pull him out, so,
And alcohol wasn't involved.
there wasn't no alcohol there at all. So, that's what we do. We help each other, and that's how we stay sober. So, thanks, Al.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Kevin.
I'm Tom, alcoholic.
Oh, hey, Tom.
Are we doing?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, okay. Thanks, Al. You're an alcoholic, you sound like it. Well, when you said that you looked at the books, your meditation books, and something happened, you didn't drink. That's exactly what I do. I see my meditation books, and the God is right there. The presence of God is right there when I see those books. 'Cause I know what's in your books. My conscious contact with God. And that's what I got from your lead. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Tom.
Tom.
I'm John, an alcoholic.
Hey, John.
John.
I really appreciated your lead, I appreciated the humility that you put out too. And one of the things the old timer said when I first got sober was, you know, and you know you don't know. And of myself, I don't know or have the means to say so. I need the rest of the fellowship, the steps, the readings, the books like Tom was talking about.
was looking forward to coming down here. I'm glad I got to hear your lead and, like John, I heard early on my response for one is, when they ask you to do something, just go ahead and do it, My first lead, I just froze almost up there, I just undo the steps and somebody asked me, my sponsor happened to be standing right next to me when the guy asked me, and he looked at me like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it. I did, That's what we do. And he also said, stick with the winners, and the best is yet to come. We're heading the right way, one day at a time, there's so many gifts that's been given to me, and best thing that ever happened to me, that's for sure. So, I'll pass.
Thanks, Mark.
I'm Preston,
Hey, Preston.
Thanks for your lead out. See you here every Sunday I come, and I really enjoy this meeting. And I just have a lot of respect. You were falling down and things, your life was out of control, and if you didn't get a handle on it then, you could have ended up a lot deeper down the scale. And I have a lot of respect for the people that recognize it and they take care of the problem before they completely destroy everything around them. That's that willpower that shows that you really want it. You weren't forced. Like your hand wasn't absolutely forced. You were just you knew your life was out of control and find a better way of living and a better life and a happier life and peace and serenity. And you decided to take the steps that were necessary to get here. And I just have a lot of respect for that. Thank you.
Thanks, Preston.
Wayne, I'm an alcoholic.
Wayne.
I want to thank you for your lead out. I too was a functioning alcoholic until I was an unfunctioning alcoholic. Proud of you to realize that you have a problem. I was the same way. It took a long time to surrender. You don't want to admit it. You think you just keep pushing it off and think there's nothing wrong until you really realize that. So congratulations on that. I seen the other people who keep coming back.
Wayne.
I'm Andrew Kevin, the alcoholic.
Andrew.
I just want to thank you for your lead, sharing with us. I just appreciate that. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm not an alcoholic. Hey, Don. Thanks for your lead out. I can relate. When drinking and stuff. I done 35 years, and I ended up with 40 UIs before I found the program. And of course, somebody said, you're done. You either stop or that's it. We ain't gonna let you out. And I told myself, I'll stop. I went through drug treatment center for 90 days in Richmond, Indiana. And I got out, first thing I done, boom, right back. Another 3 years drinking solid. I was a 7-day drunk. Every time I'd pass out, I'd get up, I had to have one right away. I couldn't go less than a half hour. It got so bad. But thanks a lot for your lead. Appreciate it. And thanks for being a
Don.
friend.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Don.
Crane supporter. I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your lead and keep doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Thanks,
Christy, I'll tell you.
Christy.
I was pretty excited. I seen Menards last night and he came in and you told me that you're going to do a lead tonight, so I was pretty stoked all night. But I'm happy that I got to be here for you to share your story. And I commend you on getting help and not letting it get too far gone to where you couldn't got the help. So most people don't make it to these rooms. So I just commend you for that, Al. And I love seeing your face on Saturdays when I can get there, or even the Jabez house. So just keep doing what you're doing and you'll be good. So thank you.
I'm Matt, I'm an alcoholic. Thanks, Al, for stepping up and giving your lead. I really got a lot out of it. We're not bad people. We're not bad people at all. We're very well-intentioned people when we're drinking. But that's not how it turns out. And that's how I was when I was drinking. I always had the best intentions. I never meant to hurt anybody. But everything always turned to crap in my hands, And everything I touched just turned to trash. And I couldn't understand it, and I kept doing it again and again, and I just felt like I must be cursed or something, you know? And I didn't realize that it was right in front of my face. It was that alcohol that I was putting in my body. And I would try to go left, and the alcohol would make me go right, you know? Because that's the nature of alcohol. It's a deceiver. It feels like freedom when we put it in our mouth, and it ends up tying us down and giving us all kind of problems. When I found this program, I really didn't think I had a problem with alcohol. I came sort of out of desperation because I didn't know what else to do. And then I found that I was among a lot of people that said things that reminded me of what I had gone through. And I really felt like I had finally found my home in these rooms. Because I heard people talking about the same things that I went through, the same feelings, you know, the same drama. And it's a great program. You know, it's a program that's given me so many benefits and so many gifts. But I found in the beginning first I had to learn how to give up the alcohol. Then I had to learn how to deal with the stuff up here that made me go to the alcohol, that made the alcohol seem to make sense. You know, and that was sort of the second part of my journey in this program. And, you know, I've been sober a while, but the old Matt is still in there, you know, and still comes out. Like today I think you were talking about by yourself and nothing on TV and, you know, nothing really wrong, but you just kind of have that feeling like uneasy. And I said, you know what, it's Sunday night. There's a meeting up before recovery. Let me go up and see my friends in AA. And, you know, as soon as I come in a meeting and I see other people, a lot of that feeling of unease, it just kind of drops away from me. It's a crazy thing about this program, just being around other alcoholics. You know, just make me feel like I'm home. And thanks for your lead. I got a lot out of it.
Thanks, Matt. Do we have anyone on the phone?
They all fell asleep.
Hey, Joni.
Hey, thanks. That was awesome for your first lead there. And so yeah, now I'm going to tell you right now, when you were working on my house in St. Henry, I was passing you those stairs on that scaffolding out there. I could have told you you weren't functioning for a while right then if you would asked me. But I was having a beer problem, and I would have not known how to help you out. That's for damn sure. Because I wasn't functioning real well either, but I thought I was. I thought I was doing just fine.
You were.
Anyway, I just looked at you today, and I absolutely know you're a miracle because I knew you went. And that's what I love about the program, and that's what I don't want to miss. So even though I am well aware that I'm probably not going to drink today, I want to drink, and I have a few 24 hours, you're one of the reasons that I just want to keep my ass around these tables, is because I can't get enough of seeing miracles today. So I'm grateful that you found your miracle, and this program, yeah, it saves lives, and it sure as hell saved mine. And I love you, brother, and I'll pass the bat over to Jim.
Thanks, Joni.
I'm Jim, I'm an alcoholic. Thanks so much for a really great first lead, man, and my caps off to you. I've always really appreciated the way that you simply jumped in with both feet when you came in. By the time you're at your second and third meeting, you just kind of lockstep in it. I think that, I think we always see a lot of people that come in and need, it would suit them well to do exactly what you've done. But so many of us, and myself included, I had to tiptoe in and try to take a deep meal and try to figure this thing out and see what I could do and what not to do. You simply didn't do that. You came in and you knew you had an issue, and you came in and just took suggestions and followed our way. And the Wes, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Wes.
Good job, Al. You don't have to do that again. You don't have to do the first week again, because you got it done. Like another milestone. So, congratulations on that. And we'll think of some other tests for you, if you want some, I suppose. But, hopefully, the steps are clear. Don't overthink it like I did. And, follow a simple problem. It didn't say it was easy, it said it was simple. But, thanks for your lead, thanks for your participation, and hopefully get over this cold soon. Take care.
Thanks,
Wes.
Wes.
Thank you, Wes.
Take care, Wes.
I recall what I left out, would have been a half hour long if I would have remembered, but.
Do we have anybody else?
Catch all that next time.
Yeah. We gotta leave next time.
Okay, well, here's the, oh, hi, Jill.
Jill?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Bill.
Congratulations, Johnny. Parker, I'm out there in 24 dollars but life goes on. Since you walked in that door, I mean, when I first seen you coming down those steps, I'm like, you know, some money on the range. Stay out of the way. Like a couple other men I think of sometimes, and I'm like, no, that's not the way to help. The big old teddy bear. You know, they're out there to help anybody, anywhere, that they can help. And I would love to see you or everybody in that meeting, because you got something to do with it. You just know how people feel. I don't have that feel. But you can just tell when somebody walks in the door what you need to say, what you're going to say to them. And if I can complain at them, and you don't, because I can sit there and watch you. And, you know, you're just big old teddy bear, and everything that ever comes out of that mouth is a big old teddy bear, ready to help anybody, share their stories with anybody, walk you to work if you have to walk to work, that most AA members do. You just got something different about you. And I consider you a very true friend. We've talked about a lot of different stuff, and you're like the best friend to me anymore. We just talk. And I just want to give you kudos for giving your lead tonight. The first one I did, I was only lasting 20 minutes. You did a great job. We went up about 22 minutes. But it's not going to the story, it's your story. And I'm trying to talk about I've been on these for a while, not due to my own self. But I never thought about taking a drink over it. Because I'm sober, and drinking was the last thing I needed to worry about in my life then. And if I was drinking, I might have been in a lot better shape than I am. But hey, I can admit today, I'm an alcoholic. I'm proud of it. I had a couple people I know who were talking today and shared some of our stories and how he came to this program and just still, I mean, I could drink right now and just die because, you know, I'm not in real good health right But I don't think about that first. I'm thinking about, okay, what can I do for that person when I can't even get out of it? So I'm glad to be back. I'm glad we had a phone meeting. And just, I miss everybody. I love you all.
Yes, you too.
And, I'll try to get here as much as I can. And with that, I love you, I miss you. And Paul, Al, God bless you today. Thanks.
Thanks,
Hey,
Jill.
Jill.
Thank you,
Jill.
we miss you too.
Who's that? Sharon already said.
Do we have anybody else? Here, Al, let me give you this in appreciation for.
Thank you, this is another tool to go in my toolbox.
There you go, absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay, well, with that, we've come to the top of the hour, so who you see here, what you hear here, let it stay here.
Here,
And
here,
if you
here.
would all help me close this meeting with the Our Father.
Can you hold hands here? I guess we need.
Oh, the basketball. Prayer's over. Prayer's over.
All right, Al, you want to take us out?
Yes. Take it out when you need. Don't just say, give us this day our daily bread. Mean it when you say it. Let me remove my hat. Okay, who helps keep us sober?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen. Keep coming back, thy works of your word.
Makes everybody happy, so I like it. Yeah. I just got it here. I think somebody has to make first.
I'll be the first.
There you go.
I think, you weren't saving it, were you?
I'll stay for after the meeting.
It'd be cold, so you just bring in.
Everybody will be drinking.
Not me.
Everybody will be drinking.
Nice and hot.
All right.
Some things I can do is on the inside.
How you doing? Okay, how you doing? Doing pretty good.
All the doors closed when I was finally like.
What's your name?
That's
you. That's right.
I went in at one to acknowledge the fire was all the way down there. I loved it. I loved it so much.
I just got her text. What time is the meeting tonight? Where's it at? And just text me.
This is here, he's over. This meeting. And this is what I like
We had two of them.
I really did. I was 10 o'clock. I was there in my car, and I was here right when I was.
I was telling you, there's two good kids. They stayed up on their own.
Jason's kids?
I don't want to tease everybody.
Are you pulling them seats? For sure.
For him. I locked himself out of the house there the other day. He had his back on. Couldn't get in there. Tried the windows, and the windows were door handles were off. I ended up knocking the door handle off. I can't remember his name,
Ryan. You're fine.
Probably won't.
It's a forgivable face.
Outside, I remember his face. Your pocket knife on the side of his pocket knife. Yeah. Then they call the cops.
Okay.
I got the straight out by me.
You've been around a while, haven't you? I've never seen you around one more. Is AA good for you? Is AA good for you? Do you listen to these reads online?
I've checked out a couple on YouTube.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you know, it's like,
It's been a while since I checked them out. Now that we called that, I'm gonna get back into that.
remember that website, right?
I just always go on YouTube and then look up, what is this?
Zero Virginia.
His hands is as big
Or
as
close to that one.
very rasper. He is just like the red.
How do you spell the last name?
I've got allergy on, maybe not on that one, but on the other. Go to
Yeah.
when you go up there, and you go to highway, there's all the ones that are recorded here.
That's pretty
Any
cool.
of your other kids coming? I got soda out in the car, I made them happy.
Get them all shooting up.
No caffeine though, no caffeine free. Speaking of water, no sugar. Healthy sugar. That's very good, Neil.
Hey.
I seen you first.
Hi there, this is Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. Hello.
So can you guys hear me?
Hello, Wes.
You read something, Tom? We got
Hi, Wes.
Oh, then give me something.
They fire up the bunny.
Can you hear us?
There's Flintstones.
Can you hear us, Wes?
Can you guys hear us? Can you guys hear us?
Okay, well, you're working on it, I think.
Okay, Kev, we can
Ah,
hear them.
well, thank you.
I can hear them, but they can't hear me.
I am.
amenable to what?
No, Greg, seems like everybody in America does.
I'm a carpenter, so
Sure, I got it.
Good. Good for you.
my friend Mark was just
Mine's
talking about
just a
finding
little one, but it's there. No fun.
Yeah, I deal with pretty.
Well, I think it's,
All right, hello, everybody.
I'm pretty happy.
My name is Chrissy, and I am an alcoholic. Would everybody like to help me open
Hi,
this?
Chrissy.
Would everyone help? Hello. Would everyone like to help me open this meeting with the Serenity Prayer? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay. The AA preamble is Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics achieve sobriety. And I've asked a friend to read how it works.
Wayne, I'm an alcoholic. How it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. At some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result is nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power, that one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over our alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscience contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, "What an order, I can't go through with it." Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. God would be your song.
Thanks.
Thanks, Wade.
And I've asked a friend to read the promises.
I'm Ryan and I'm an alcoholic.
Ryan.
The AA promises, if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. 2, we are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. 3, we will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. 4, we will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. 5, no matter how far down the scale we've gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. 6, that feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. 7, we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. 8, self-seeking will slip away. 9, our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. 10, fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. 11, we will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. 12, we will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises?
No.
We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83 and 84.
Thanks, Ryan.
And I've asked a friend to read the daily reflections.
Oh, I'm Tom, alcoholic.
Hey, Tom.
Mysterious paradoxes. Such is the paradox of AA's regeneration. Strength rises out of complete defeat and weakness, the loss of one's old life as a condition for finding a new one. Alcoholics comes of age, page 46. What glorious mysteries paradoxes are. They do not complete, yet they do not compute. But when recognized and accepted, they affirm something in the universe beyond human logic. When I face a fear, I am given strength. When I support a brother or sister, my capacity to love myself is increased. When I accept pain as part of the growing experience of life, I realize a greater happiness. When I look at my dark side, I am brought into new light. When I accept my vulnerability and surrender to a higher power, I am graced with unforeseen strength. I stumbled through the doors of AA in disgrace, expecting nothing from my life, and I have been given hope and dignity. Miraculously, the only way to keep the gifts of the program is to pass them on.
Thanks, Tom. And I've asked a friend to read the 24 hours.
I'm Preston, I'm an alcoholic.
Any questions?
Besides our jobs, our families, our friends, and our sobriety, we have something else which many of us found through AA. That's faith in a power greater than ourselves, to which we can turn for help. Faith in that divine principle in the universe which we all call God, and which is on our side as long as we do the right thing. There have been many days in the past when, if had taken an inventory, we have found ourselves very much in the red, without sobriety, and therefore without jobs, family, friends, or faith in God. We now have these things because we are sober. Do I make one resolution every day of my life to stay sober? Meditation for the day. Love the busy life. It is a joy-filled life. Take your fill of joy in the spring. Live outdoors whenever possible. Sun and air are nature's great healing forces. That inward joy changes poison blood into a pure, healthy, life-giving flow. But never forget that the real healing of the spirit comes from within, from the close, loving contact of your spirit with God's spirit. Keep in close communion with God's spirit day by day. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may learn to live the abundant life. I pray that I may enjoy a close contact with God this day and be glad in it.
Thanks,
Thanks, Preston.
And I've asked a friend to read As Bill Sees It.
I made a recovering alcoholic. As Bill sees it, page 45 of our companion. Today, the vast majority of us welcome any new light that can be thrown on the alcoholic experience. And baffling nowadays. We welcome new and education stuff, or from varying social studies. We are glad of any kind of instruction that currently informs the public and changes its age-old attitude towards the known. More and more we regard all who labor in the total field of alcoholism as our companions on a march from darkness into light. We see that we can accomplish together what we could never accomplish in separation and in reality.
Thanks, Andrew. And I've asked my friend to hand out tokens.
I'm Kevin, I'm an alcoholic. And Fort Recovery here, we have a token system that recognize different lengths of sobriety. Today, first token we have is a 24-hour token. Anybody here for the first meeting after the last drink, or would like a token to try our way of life? Okay. I have monthly tokens, 1 through 11. Anybody have a monthly anniversary? I have an 18-month token. And then I have yearly tokens, starting with 1 year. And I have tokens that goes up a long time. Does anybody have an anniversary they'd like to recognize, or does anybody have any sobriety time that they'd like to recognize tonight? Okay, well, let's all give ourselves a hand. Hang on, go ahead, Johnny.
Hey, it's Jody, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Jody.
Friday, I got celebrate 15 years here in Key West.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, congratulations, Joni. All right, we have loose leaf literature in the back there. We have books, meeting schedules. If anybody needs a big book or daily reflections or anything, get with one of us after the meeting and we can do that. We do have the bowling thing. That's March 15th at 8:30. 8:15 at Coldwater Bowling Alley. Bring yourself, your family. It'll be a lot of fun, fellowship, and we can show our skills on the bowling lane. My son loves competition, so if you guys can bring him some, I'd appreciate it. Is there any announcements from the floor?
I'm Kevin, I'm an alcoholic.
Okay.
This is the last Sunday. Next week starts a new month. So anybody interested being the chairperson, let me know, or show up next Sunday and we'll show you how it's done. And it's a very rewarding experience. So. And I'd like to thank Chrissy for stepping up tonight. Jennifer couldn't make it, so Chrissy stepped up, and that's how we do it around here. So thank you, Chrissy.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Okay, any other announcements? All right, I will pass the 7th tradition basket around. If you had any court slips, you can throw them in there. And now we will go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Chrissy, and I am an alcoholic.
Chrissy. I'm Tom, alcoholic.
Tom. I'm Ryan, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Ryan.
Jason, alcoholic.
Hey, Jason.
I'm Lori, I'm just a visitor.
Roger, I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Roger.
And a recovering alcoholic.
Kevin, I'm an alcoholic.
Hello, Kevin.
Oh, I'm an alcoholic.
Karina supporter.
Karina. Christie alcoholic.
Hi, Christie, I'm Matt, I'm an alcoholic.
And Matt. And who do we have on the phone?
I'm Sharon, a recovering alcoholic.
Hey Sharon.
Sharon.
Hey Wes.
This is Bill, and I'm an alcoholic.
Who was that?
Miranda and Derek. Miranda and Derek.
Hi, Miranda and Derek.
Hey
Jill,
Brandon.
alcoholic.
Jill.
I Jill. The stem prayers of my life. I'm sending them, hon. Hey, this is Jim and Jill. Like, glad to hear your voice, Jill.
And we also have,
This is Wes.
hi Wes. We have one that just walked in.
Oh, I'm Katie, I'm an alcoholic.
Katie.
Okay.